So when we started this project, guys, we put a lot of emphasis on doing everything by hand because we have no machine access. We've done really well with that, honestly. That's because we came here early and we got everything set up properly. I think it really goes to show how important preparation is. And we've been able to do so well with this and be efficient with moving rocks and materials because we came here early to set everything up. We needed a little extra rock, so I'm out here again with a trailer full 4 tons of rock. It's the middle of January. I'm freezing my cheeks off, but it's going good.
Hey folks, you hear that country music in the background? It's copyright infringement. This is the home stretch for the stream anyways. We've got our last couple pooling sections, drops carved out, excavated, roughed out basically. And I'm just going over the shelves, making sure everything's level and pitched the way I want it, picking out all the pokies. So any little bits of glass, when the roof collapsed, any of that stuff we're taking out, any rocks and roots, we're getting as much of that out as possible. We're gonna lay down our protective padding, our underliner, get our liner in place, and then we're gonna start working our way this way, doing different styles of waterfalls. You can see Dominic has started to excavate over here and add some big, huge retaining rocks because we're trying to make this berm look natural, hold it up in place, but kind of also create a little cove, a little inlet for guests to walk up close to the waterfall. And that way management doesn't have to build like a fence or a barrier for this section here. They'll walk right up to these big rocks and obviously they know not to climb around, so that'll be their hard stopping point, but it'll get them really close to the waterfall. We've also added some more retaining boulders on this side of the berm. We want to hold this soil up, but really make it look natural, have these outcropping rocks that are gonna be dotted along the landscaping.
We just got our biological waterfall filter framed in on one side. And half the battle when you're building a waterfall is diverting the water to where you want to go, that image that you have in your mind, how it's supposed to flow. So we use things like waterfall foam and just backfilling at a certain slope. You're never going to be able to get everything 100% watertight when it comes to rocks. Water's always going to want to take the path of least resistance. So our job is to give the water the path of least resistance, which looks the best. So I have our liner peeled back here and I'm backfilling at a slope this way to make sure that our water stays where we want it to and go over our first spillway. We're gonna do a little cobble lanch here and tie this giant boulder that came with the old pond in. It looks amazing. You can't see it right now, but just wait till it's all washed off.
All right, guys, we finally have water running. It's taken a lot of work to get to this point, and as you can see, clearly there's still a lot more work that has to happen to finish this off, but this is always a super exciting part of the project for us, and you kind of get that little reward. It's a little jolt of energy when you finally see everything you've been working really hard on come to life, basically. We have this beautiful first drop. This is the widest and tallest drop in the entire pond. What I love about it is it's not a perfect sheet. We wanted this to be really reminiscent of a jungle or a forest waterfall. So there's a lot of little fingers of water. We've got these little ribbons that go all over the place. Super natural. We wanted to have bouncing water, changing directions, going all over the place. So we added this spill stone in here. We got water that pools up right in this section, and then some comes over here, a little bit over the front. Some goes around that way to make a horsetail, hits that beautiful mossy cobble, and then pushes back this way. Pooling section up here in the stream. Water hits this awesome blue granite boulder, splits around both sides of it. So you've got a split waterfall. And each one of these is a horsetail or a boulder waterfall, just trying to change it up, keep it natural, just like if you went for a hike in the woods. This is what you would see. Not all the waterfalls are the same style. It's just whatever happens in nature. So we're trying to recreate all those different styles that we see Mother Nature do so perfectly and incorporate them in this water feature. So we've got these, another deep pooling section. This one's a lot deeper, backs up very nicely, comes over and hits this super awesome spill stone, which gives us 3 waterfalls in one. We've got these little sheet falls, little ribbons of water. On this side, you got a nice horsetail, and then you've got these little areas which stay wet and they'll get really mossy over time, but it's not like it is on this side and this side. I think it's an awesome effect. That drops right down into our longest section of stream where the water kind of slows down, nice and calm. We've got another section of log right there, makes a sharp turn, and then we have a very gentle, wide waterfall into the pond. This one will change. You can see we've got a bunch of exposed waterfall foam. We're gonna be getting some moss. We're ordering a bunch of sheet moss, and we're gonna be adding that to areas like this to really naturalize everything, hide some of this foam, and when we do that, that'll block up some of these areas, and it will change the way the water goes off this stone. But if you look at this rock right here, it's absolutely gorgeous. You can see all the different layers of sediment over time created this rock, and it gives you these beautiful different color striations. And I just think this is an incredible waterfall. Very natural, makes a beautiful sound. And that's another thing. Each one of these waterfalls has a completely different noise that it makes. And if you were to sit here and close your eyes, you can hear each one independently. And those are called voices. So then we get down into the pond, which is a touch over full right now. But we've got this boulder right here, just protruding out of the water, a little island rock. When the water goes down about a half an inch to its normal full level, a little bit more of this will be exposed, but that's just a really cool natural touch we did. We got this awesome log right here. We're going to be doing a bunch of gravel work on the back side of here. This will all be beautiful planting space. We'll have a bunch of aquatics growing in here, softening up these edges, flowering, just adding a bunch of greenery, helping keep that water clean and clear. And that's another thing, you can see how dirty this water is right now. We have very low water pressure here on this project. It's a well, so it takes an awful long time to fill up our tanks to fill this pond. It took 2 days to get enough water to fill this up. We're gonna run it for a little bit so we can do all of our edge work, and then we'll use this water with our pumps and our hoses to do a really good flush to get this nice and cleaned out, and then we'll put the hose back in, take another day and a half, 2 days, fill it all the way up, and then it'll be crystal clear water to start the ecosystem with. We'll let it run for a couple days, and then we can introduce the koi. And that's about it for today, guys.